Hi, I'm Jeff Murrah. I want to welcome you to Healthy Marriage Tips, where we have been doing a series on trauma bonds and understanding what you can do about them, what's behind them, what causes them. Essentially, a discussion about trauma bonds. Well, today I'm going to be dealing with the question, do trauma bonds mean I'm weak? Yeah, because there are some people, and you may be one of them, that when you're struggling with trauma bonds or some of the signs and symptoms of trauma, you or other people may label you as being weak. Or they may move beyond weakness. They may say, you're just being fleshly, or you're just being sinful, or you're just being, and they have some sort of negative label. Now, to develop trauma bonds, this is a common reaction. Let me reassure you, you are not weak, fleshly, sinful, etc. You're just overwhelmed. Because even the best of us, just due to the nature of trauma, can find themselves overwhelmed, and as a way of coping, to resort to developing trauma bonds. Now, first of all, let me go ahead and point out one reason for this is because trauma is cumulative. You may be able to handle the situation you're in now, but the thing is, the effects of trauma build up over time. All those childhood traumas, yeah, you made it past it, but it left a scar. And all those scars over time can get to the point where you are feeling overwhelmed. Your mind starts searching through its memory bank of stuff you've gone through, and hits these things of the trauma, and it feels overwhelmed. Now, when I say overwhelmed, our bodies have a limited amount of the neurochemicals involved in coping with stress. We can cope with a lot of things, but even the best of us, when enough trauma gets repeated over and over, or it's intense enough, can be overwhelmed, even with the best intentions. I mean, you may have the best of attitudes and so forth, and be doing a lot of self-care, but given enough trauma or an intense enough trauma, you can be overwhelmed. So I wanted to reassure you that even in the best of circumstances, people succumb to the effects of trauma. People develop trauma bonds as a way of coping. It's almost like, they're desperate to hold on to whatever they can to cope, even if it's unhealthy. Now, hopefully, as soon as you get healthy, you take the steps to go ahead and undo the damage. But I wanted to go ahead and make sure that you realize that you're not weak, because you don't need that tearing yourself down as you're trying to deal with it. That just makes the whole situation more complicated and take longer than it needs to for the healing. Now, I'll be dealing with some more with trauma in the coming days. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to leave them below. I'll be glad to get to them. I'm glad you tuned in today, and until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you best regards. Goodbye.